Hola todos. One of our best lessons coming up, 125, Estar plus what you are doing. We absolutely use this all the time. So we have two clusters of red. We have Estar in the present tense, which we're very familiar with. Estoy, estás, está, estamos, están. We have it in the imperfect as well. Estaba, estabas, estaba, estábamos, estaban. And we're going to follow with an ing. We will learn how to form the ing form of all the verbs. So that's going to be really exciting, very useful. Let's go to our key points. Number one, the past imperfect, verb number 5, is more commonly used than the past preterite, verb number 4. We've seen that all the way through our studies. Key point number 2, the past imperfect, verb number 5, refers to what you were doing or what was happening at a specific past moment in time, such as when I got home, when you called, when I got a flat tire, etc. There is a reference, stated or unstated, to a given point of time in the past. Point number 3, the past preterite, verb number 4, is much less common. It is used when referring to the totality of a past event. Here's the example. Estuvimos viviendo en la playa por 3 años. We were living at the beach for 3 years. Because we specify 3 years, that makes us use the verb number 4, past preterite. If I just say open-ended, we were living at the beach, it would be estábamos viviendo en la playa. The reference point could be when during the summer sometime when you came to visit. Estábamos viviendo en la playa. It's an unspecific time in the past. Now our verb conjugations, estar in the present, estoy, estás, está, estamos, están, we're good. In the preterite, estuve, estuviste, estuvo, estuvimos, estuvieron. Past imperfect, estaba, estabas, estaba, estábamos, estaban. Now the future, like I will be, estaré, you will be, estarás, she will be, estará, we will be, estaremos, and they will be, estarán. That's verb number 6. Verb number 7 is what we call the conditional would, and it's the would, what you would do today or what you would do in the future. Not in the past, that's the imperfect. Like if you were to say, I would always go to church on Sundays, siempre iba a la iglesia. What you would always do in the past, that's past imperfect, verb number 5. But if you want to say what you would do today or what you would do tomorrow or any time in the future, it's going to be verb number 7, the conditional. And remember, how many verb numbers do we have? 10. They go 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. 9 we mentioned a little bit. That's the past subjunctive. 0, we've had 0 in so many lessons. That's the infinitive, right? So here we're seeing verb numbers 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. 1 is the present participle, the ing form. We're going to take a look at that as well. And 2 is the ed, the past participle, what we call it. But that's not the point right now. What we want you to know is how to conjugate estar in the present, the past preterite, the past imperfect, the future, and the conditional, and there they are for you. All right, let's go to number 1. Regular AR verbs, the ing form, okay? You'll see that the ending is ando, A-N-D-O. Let's do it. To work, trabajar, trabajando. To talk, hablar, hablando. To walk, caminar, caminando. To dance, bailar, bailando. To study, estudiar, estudiando. To wash, lavar, lavando. So how do you get the working and talking and walking and dancing and studying and washing? You take your verb number 0, your infinitive, like trabajar, and take off the AR and put on ANDO, trabajando. Let's look at the right-hand column. To win is ganar, winning is ganando. To play is jugar, jugando is playing. To think, pensar, pensando is thinking. To wait, esperar, esperando is waiting. To kiss, besar, besando is kissing. To use, usar, usando is using. So for regular AR verbs, all you do is take the AR off of the infinitive and then add ANDO, ando. To get a really quick look, an explanation of how to form all the ing forms and all the verb tenses, turn over to section 7 in Profesor Pablo's Spanish learning systems and go to the verb charts, and you will see all sorts of charts that show very clearly how to form all these verb conjugations that we're working with now. Let's go to number 2, regular ER verbs, the ing form. It is IENDO, as you see right below it, in comiendo. To eat is comer, eating is comiendo. To have, tener, teniendo is having. To sweep, barrer, sweeping is barriendo. To return, volver, take the ER off and add IENDO, volviendo, returning. To run is correr, corriendo is running. The right-hand column. To drink is beber, bebiendo is drinking. To watch is ver, take the ER off, it leaves you just the V, and add IENDO, viendo, watching. Prometer is to promise, prometiendo, promising. To put is poner, poniendo is putting. To respond, responder, respondiendo, responding. Let's go to number 3, regular IR verbs. Look, there are only 5 here. There are very few ER and IR verbs in the Spanish language. Spanish is dominated, clearly dominated by AR verbs. All right, number 3, regular IR verbs. The ing form is the same as for ER verbs. It's IENDO. To live is vivir, viviendo is living. To write is escribir. Take the IR off and add IENDO. Escribiendo, writing. To receive, recibir, recibiendo, receiving. To climb, subir, subiendo, climbing. To leave, salir, saliendo, leaving. Okay, now we have number 4, reflexive AR verbs. To sit down is sentarse, sitting down is sentándose. To get mad is enojarse, getting mad is enojándose. To get scared is asustarse, getting scared is asustándose. To get up, levantarse, getting up, levantándose. To get hurt is lastimarse, getting hurt, lastimándose. To get well is sanarse, sanándose is getting well. Key points. Number 1, reflexive verbs use the following pronouns: me, te, se, nos, and se. And reflexive pronouns may go on the end of the ing form or in the front of a conjugated verb. Notice if you put a reflexive pronoun on the end of an ing form, you go back 3 vowels and put an accent mark in. So going back to number 4, the first one, sitting down. If I want to say I'm sitting down, I could say estoy sentándome. I would change the se to me because the subject is I. I am sitting down, estoy sentándome. Or I could put the me, like it says in key point 2, in front of the conjugated verb. Okay, ing is not a conjugated verb. That's just the ing form. But I could say, me estoy sentando. I'm sitting down. I'm getting mad. Me estoy enojando. Or estoy enojándome. It's more common to say, me estoy enojando. Asustarse. I'm getting scared. Me estoy asustando. Okay, that's how that works. Let's go to some examples. Mario is getting well. Mario está sanándose. There's your accent mark. Or Mario is getting well. Put the se in front of the conjugated verb está, and you have Mario se está sanando. Now we go to Y verbs. To read, leer. Now it's leyendo. It's not IENDO. Now it's YENDO. And there are very few verbs. You see most of them here. The important ones are right here. Reading, leyendo. To hear, oír is oyendo. Take the IR off and add YENDO. Oyendo. To fall, caerse, cayéndose. Go back and put an accent mark. The verb ir, to go, take the IR off, and what does that leave you? Nada, cero, nothing. Just add yendo, YENDO, going. To believe or to think, creer is creyendo. And to build or to construct is construir, construyendo. So these are the Y verbs: leyendo, oyendo, cayéndose, yendo, creyendo, and construyendo. Let's look at some E to I stem changing verbs in number 6. To ask for is pedir. That E is going to change to I. We're back to IENDO, pidiendo, asking for. To serve, servir, sirviendo, serving. That E changes to an I. To get, conseguir, consiguiendo, consiguiendo. We keep the U after the G because we want the hard G sound. Consiguiendo. To laugh, reírse. All right? So you take the IRSE off and add your IENDO, and then put your say, go back 3 vowels and put your accent mark. Laughing, riéndose, riéndose. To repeat, repetir, repitiendo, repitiendo. To follow or to continue, seguir, the E goes to I, siguiendo, siguiendo, following. We keep the U after the G because the G is the hard G, siguiendo. To get dressed, vestirse, the E changes to I, vistiéndose, getting dressed, vistiéndose. To smile, sonreírse. It's just like reírse, to laugh, but with an S-O-N in front, sonriéndose. E to I. Number 7, O to U verbs. There's just 2. There's to sleep, dormir, durmiendo. To die, morir, muriendo. And it can also be used reflexively. Morirse would be muriéndose. So there's durmiendo, sleeping, muriendo, dying, and muriéndose, dying. All right, now let's get to our infinitives. We have to rain, llover. To be cold, hacer frío. To be warm or hot, hacer calor. To eat dinner, cenar. To think it over, pensarlo. To end, terminar. To buy a house, comprar una casa. To serve the food, servir la comida. To sweep the floor, barrer el piso. To talk on the phone, hablar por teléfono. The right-hand column, to snow, nevar. To run, correr. To work, trabajar. To watch TV, ver la tele. To start, empezar. To get mad, enojarse. To sleep, dormir. To study, estudiar. To paint the house, pintar la casa. And to do work, hacer trabajo. It's exciting that when you hear these verbs and you look at them and read them, you say, check, 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 check. You know what they mean. And why do you know? You didn't write them on a list and put them on the wall in your bedroom and study them every night. No, you're learning because you're using them. That's the natural way of language acquisition. You learn through practice. Repetition is the mother of learning. La repetición es la madre de la enseñanza. All right, we're ready for the examples. Bring it. It is raining, está lloviendo. It was raining, estaba lloviendo. It was raining for 40 days. Estuvo lloviendo por 40 días. Why do we say estuvo? Why do we say estaba? When we say it was raining, we're not defining for how long it was raining. It's just open-ended, estaba lloviendo. But if you specifically say for how long, you have to jump into the preterite. Estuvo lloviendo por 40 días. It will be raining tomorrow, the future. Estará lloviendo mañana. Estará lloviendo mañana. We will be sleeping. Estaremos durmiendo. Estaremos durmiendo. We will be sleeping. I was watching TV like when you called. Estaba viendo la tele. Estaba viendo la tele. Paco was washing his car when it started raining. Paco estaba lavando su carro. Paco estaba lavando su carro. I would be asking a lot of questions. Yo estaría haciendo muchas preguntas. Yo estaría haciendo muchas preguntas. Outstanding. Good job. Thanks for paying attention through all of this. Let's go back up to the top. We see our 2 clusters to say what you are doing and what you were doing because those are the 2 more common. But we come down here and we go to the verb conjugations, and again we see verb conjugations, present, past preterite, past imperfect, future and conditional are kind of new. So let's go over the future again. I will be, estaré, like I will be working, estaré trabajando. Estarás, you will be sleeping, estarás durmiendo. Estará, she will be arriving, estará llegando. Estaremos, we will be studying, estaremos estudiando. And they will be outside playing. Estarán afuera jugando. Would, estaría, I would be waiting. Estaría esperando. You would be thinking it over. Estarías pensándolo. She would be cooking dinner. Ella estaría preparando la cena. We would be studying for the test. Estaríamos estudiando para el examen. And they would be talking on the phone. Estarían hablando por teléfono. Okay, let's go down to the regular AR verbs. What is the regular ing ending for AR regular verbs? Ando. For AR verbs, when you want to say ing, it's ando. For ER and IR verbs, it's yendo, I-E-N-D-O, yendo. Reflexive verbs, remember you're going to have the reflexive pronoun on the end of the ing form. If you do, you need to go back 3 vowels and put an accent mark. Okay? We also know there are some Y verbs. Reading, leyendo, L-E-Y-E-N-D-O, oyendo. Why do they have leyendo? Why do we have them? Because if we just went with the I-E-N-D-O, we would have L-E-I-E-N-D-O, L-E-I-E-N-D-O, too many vowels together. So they said, let's go with a Y. Leyendo, reading, oyendo, hearing, cayéndose, falling, yendo, going, creyendo, believing, construyendo, building. We have E to I verbs. Asking for something, pidiendo, serving, sirviendo, getting, consiguiendo. I'm getting the tickets. Estoy consiguiendo los boletos. Riéndose, laughing. Repitiendo, repeating. Siguiendo, following. Vistiéndose, getting dressed. And sonriéndose, smiling. We have 2 O to U verbs. There's durmiendo, sleeping, and muriendo, dying. All right, so that's it. I think you understand this quite well. There's the 2 clusters, estoy, estás, está, estamos, están, plus either ando, yendo, or in some cases, yendo. Estaba, the same thing to say what you were doing. Estaba, estabas, estaba, estábamos, estaban, plus ing. Remember, for AR verbs, the ing ending is A-N-D-O, ando. For ER and IR verbs, the ending is yendo, I-E-N-D-O. Y verbs, the ending is yendo, Y-E-N-D-O. Okay? So it's either going to be ando, yendo, or yendo. That'll do it for lesson number 125, Estar, plus what you are doing. A great lesson. You're going to like this, to be able to use this often in communication. Gracias por su atención. Gracias por estudiar. Gracias por practicar. Gracias por estar aquí con nosotros aprendiendo español. Hasta pronto y this is Profesor Pablo signing off. Cambio fuera.